I'm Kylie Putnam, and coming up next on WVU News, I'll tell you how some departments may have to shut their doors.
I'm Callie Clinton, and coming up next on WVU News, WVU celebrates being a Mountaineer.
WVU game day is always a fun time, but the traffic is not. I'm Zach Oster, and I'll tell you what the fastest routes are to save you money and time. Our award-winning WVU News starts right now.
There are over 1 million firefighters nationwide and almost 400 in West Virginia, but some departments are hurting for funding. Find out how this could affect fire safety in your area. I'm Kylie Putnam.
And I'm Whitley Rose. Game day is a special time for West Virginia fans, but not when they're stuck in traffic. Learn how to cut down your game day commute. You're watching an award-winning newscast produced by television journalism students at West Virginia University.
In 2012, over 50% of firefighters in the U.S. were volunteer.
And in West Virginia, 91% of departments are also volunteer. But without funding, some Monongalia County departments may have to close.
I found out why the proposal has more than just firefighters concerned. Last spring, the Monongalia County Volunteer Fire Companies Association presented a proposal to the County Commission requesting an increase in funding.
Spreaders, and we put
Without a budget increase, some volunteer stations may have to close their doors.
Everyone right now is scared. We don't know how high insurance is going to rise. It goes up every year. We don't know where fuel will be, and we do know what's coming in, and right now it's close.
The 12 departments currently receive $20,000 each year from the County Commission, with some additional state funding. The VFCA is requesting $80,000 for each station, but County Commissioner Tom Bloom wants to look at each station's individual needs before moving forward.
Will you show us the audit and the accounting of every fire department? Once we then know where the money is going and how it's being spent, we have a better idea of how to help them.
Fire officials say the additional funding will help pay for mandatory training, utilities, insurance, workers' compensation, and protective gear. And this equipment is expensive. The hat, $300, the jacket, $900, and the self-contained breathing apparatus, $3,000. President of the VFCA, Bob Brookover, says if doors close, both resident safety and their wallets will take a hit.
Your fire insurance rates will quadruple easily because you do not have the local fire department there. You know, I do not want to see anybody shut down.
The VFCA and the County Commission will meet for a work session on November 5th to try and construct a possible proposal. There are alternatives to this budgeting dilemma. Some ideas include mixing paid and volunteer firefighters and changing the current system to a metro system.
These possibilities will be discussed at the County Commission meeting.
From staying safe to now staying healthy this fall, there's a lot of talk about the deadly disease Ebola, but a more common ailment kills up to 50,000 people a year. The flu virus spreads through water droplets that become airborne when someone coughs or sneezes. Flu symptoms form in a 5 to 7 day period. The best way to avoid contracting and spreading the disease is to get a flu shot at your local pharmacy. Shots are also available at the Monongalia County Health Department. For more information or to schedule an appointment, check out the website below. Depending on the nature of the strain, the flu season can last until May.
Fall is the season for football in Morgantown. The town's population surges on game days, and so does traffic.
Economic reporter Zachary Ozer is here in the studio to tell us how fans can better prepare to beat the traffic. Zach, why does it seem like there's so much traffic this year?
Well, the Mountaineer football team is already eligible for a bowl victory, only 8 games into the season. With more wins comes more fans and their cars. I had a chance to explore the city and find the best methods for fans to get around town on game day. The thrill of a WVU football game can be great, but once the game ends, a new contest begins.
I mean, Morgantown's hard to drive in on an average day, but on game days it's far worse.
Game attendees aren't the only ones affected by the traffic. Businesses are impacted as well.
We actually limit our delivery space from Van Voorst to West Run to anything past the Glenmark Center. Actually, traffic's so backed up, bumper to bumper, before the game and even during, up till halftime.
Even though traffic is hard, one city official likes the way it's been handled by the city.
Because they get people in and out of the city fairly quickly. And so I think how the system they got now is working pretty well.
Milan Pushkar Stadium holds 60,000 fans, and every one of them has to find some way of getting to and from the game. The WVU Coliseum offers free parking for most of its lot, but you have to get there early to have a chance for a space. The PRT has been a popular mode of transportation for game day, and for good reason. If all the average game day riders of the PRT had to drive, there would be an estimated 7,500 more cars on the road. It's also free and keeps you away from traffic.
This is the white lot, one of the many lots WVU makes available to its fans. As you can see, it's a short distance from this lot to the stadium. However, it costs $40 per game. You can instead park at the downtown campus and take the PRT to medical. Now you spent no money and added just 15 minutes to your commute.
You can use these traffic tips in WVU's next home game against Kansas State on November 20th. The 2013 data traffic collection found that Monongahela Boulevard has poor traffic flow. The roads almost met full capacity and received the lowest grade for the quality of service. Kylie and Whitley, back to you.
While some fans may be upset about traffic, others unhappy about game day wardrobe. In 2011, WVU initiated a t-shirt amnesty program after an ESPN cameraman zoomed in on a student wearing an offensive t-shirt. The amnesty program is back, allowing students to exchange their vulgar WVU shirts for officially licensed Mountaineer apparel. The students take their old t-shirts to the Mountain Lair and receive a $20 voucher for the bookstore, book exchange, or WVU's team shop at the Coliseum. The student Mountaineer Maniacs recently held the program's Clean Up Students Wardrobe before ESPN game returned for the game against TCU.
It was a busy week in Morgantown, and not just because of sports. Some WVU and West Virginia traditions were celebrated recently.
That's right, Kylie. WVU hosted its 67th Mountaineer Week. Kylie Clendenin is here to tell us about the week that pays tribute to West Virginia's heritage.
Thanks, Kylie and Whitley. WVU uses Mountaineer Week to attract visitors to campus and to educate visitors and students about some of the state's traditions. Mountaineer Week has been a WVU tradition since 1947. I had the chance to join in on some of the week-long fun.
Let's go, Mountaineers!
Students and faculty at WVU and residents of West Virginia came together to celebrate Mountaineer Week. The week is dedicated to celebrating West Virginia's heritage and traditions.
It really means like community, getting to, talk to other people and make new friends and just kind of come together as a school.
The beard growing competition was one of the many events that the week had to offer. The 20 participants had to shave and then regrow their beards for a specific period of time.
I had a pretty nice beard. I wanted to, show off so that I could grow a real nice beard.
The PRT Cram is another Mountaineer tradition that students look forward to every year. During the competition, students cram into a car that is built for only 16 people. The record was set in 2000 with 97 students. This is the 67th year of Mountaineer Week here at WVU. And Kidwell's concession stand have been making funnel cakes for the celebration for 16 years. The concessions join Wild West kelp corn and pork rinds out in front of the Mountain Lair every day during the week. This allows students who can't participate in any of the events to still be a part of the festivities.
I think it's like a way to bring us together and bring up school spirit even more.
Students were excited to show their school spirit during the Mountaineer Week Challenge Games. Student groups competed in a relay race, tug of war, and a push-up competition.
I feel like it's important to show your school spirit, and WVU definitely has an unlimitless amount of it, and I'm just so happy to be here.
The week brings the school together to celebrate everything that makes a Mountaineer. If you're interested in checking out one of West Virginia's many trails, museums, or artisan events, visit the web address at the bottom of your screen.
WVU fans are making headlines for their respectable dedication rather than their rowdy behavior.
Sports anchor Jimmy Zito will join us with more on the weekend that made WVU sports history.
Game days in town. I'm Jimmy Zito, and straight ahead on WVU News, I'll tell you what the preparation's like leading up to the big show.
We're all different. Our interests, our backgrounds can influence our futures. But without focus, they're just dreams. But what if someone could give your interests life? If they could give your background power? if they could fuel what motivates you? That's what gives dreams meaning, purpose. And perhaps that was the moment you knew you wanted to be a Mountaineer.
The Mountaineers have been scoring touchdowns since 1891, but it's rarely received more attention than it did this fall in Morgantown.
And it has fans from all over expressing the old gold and blue pride. Anchor Jimmy Zito is here to tell us more.
Thanks, Whitley. This season, the Mountaineers are playing better than they have in recent years. In fact, their playing is attracting more national attention this fall. Recently, one popular ESPN show came to town. College Game Day started back in 1987, but it wasn't until 1993 when they started incorporating live broadcasting. I had a chance to check out the week of game day preparations. Take a look.
College Game Day, live from Morgantown, West Virginia.
College Game Day is a 180-minute pregame show on Saturday mornings from 9 to 12 p.m., and they recently came to Morgantown, West Virginia for their matchup against the 10th-ranked TCU Horned Frogs. Game Day started back in 1987 and is considered one of the most popular shows ESPN has to offer today. Students began camping out when the news first broke. It became extremely contagious that there was 281 tents, and students were calling it Tent City, which began trending on Twitter. I got a chance to speak with a few campers about what game day means for this university.
It kind of brings us together and makes us more of a family.
We get a chance to showcase our city and the great students we have.
We have a week together, so it's kind of a good bonding time for us students.
I think everyone's going to be very positive, and we're going to have a good time.
We're also close to the community that all it takes is one person to spark an interest, and everybody kind of jumps on it.
The students weren't the only ones showing enthusiasm. Michael Garcia, the newly appointed Mountaineer, was fired up during the week leading up to game day.
This Saturday, everyone's going to be watching Morgantown. Everyone's going to see the craziness of our fans, but they're also going to see how awesome we are and how respectful we can be.
The game day crew arrived 3 days before the show took place. The reason for the early arrival is because there was so much that the staff needed to set up in order for game day to run smoothly. The host of game day, Chris Fowler, explained how great he thought the turnout was at Mountaineer Plaza throughout the week.
To see this army of tent people that have been here since Sunday, that's not the norm. That's not what we see every week, so it's very flattering.
College Game Day ended up being an unbelievable experience for not only the university, but the state of West Virginia as a whole.
There was roughly 10 to 12,000 screaming fans that packed this green Saturday morning in preparation for the huge game that occurred on ABC.
The Mountaineers lost to TCU 31-30 in a barn burner, but that does not take away from the great atmosphere that Morgantown displayed throughout the week.
The Mountaineers will make the trip to Austin on Saturday, November 8th to take on the Texas Longhorns. The Mountaineer not only acts as a WVU mascot, but a respected public figure as well, and has led the school since 1937. The Mountaineer is one of a few college mascots that reveals their true identity, and this year Fairmont native Michael Garcia is representing the old gold and blue. The Mountaineer must attend all home and away football games, all men's and women's basketball games, and makes about 300 public appearances during the school year. In addition to the busy schedule, the Mountaineer is responsible for maintaining his buckskins and musket, which he alone is allowed to shoot. Kylie and Whitley, back to you.
Thanks, Jimmy. The holidays are approaching, and some people may be thinking about adding a furry member to the family, but they may want to consider a rescue pet or fostering one.
That's right, Kylie. The Fairmont organization Pet Helpers held an adoption day last month to help aspiring pet owners find their perfect match. Pet Helpers is looking for more foster parents, too. Every year, nearly 4 million cats and dogs are killed due to overcrowding in shelters. Fostering a pet keeps the animals out of the pound and prepares owners for adoption. The next adoption day will be Saturday, November 15th at the University Town Center. You can check out the website below. Before we sign off today, we'd like to congratulate women's soccer coach Nikki Izzo Brown for making Big 12 Coach of the Year for the second straight season. I'm Whitley Rose.
And we would also like to wish her and her team good luck as they take on the Big 12 tournament. And I'm Kylie Putnam. You can check out our show online and watch previous episodes of WVU News on YouTube. And don't forget to follow our reporters on Twitter. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.